Welcome to the North Reading Go Open Overview and Introduction to Open Educational Resources, Tech Buzz Professional Development. The learning objectives for the OER Go Open session is to provide for this course information and experience in using open educational resources in your teaching practice. We will discuss the concepts of OER and open licenses. Upon completing this session, you will be able to describe the meaning of open educational resources, differentiate the concepts of open licensing, public domain, and also understand all rights reserved copyrights, identify resources that are openly licensed or in the public domain, distinguish the different types of Creative Commons licenses, find the open educational resources, and properly attribute their authors. Additionally, you will also be able to research and find open educational resources and apply them to one of your own lessons and think about how they can add to the classroom. Here are the topics in sequence. The lesson topics and sequence of learning for the Go Open training is: what is the Go Open movement all about? What are OER resources? Why OER matters, why use OER, and 7 things to know about OER resources. Before we dip into these resources, I would first like to give you a little overview of how the North Reading Public Schools is involved. The North Reading Public Schools is a Go Open district in the state of Massachusetts. What this means is that we have selected to identify curriculum areas in which we feel like we could use open educational resources to support the development of curriculum. If you're interested in getting more involved, you can contact me at ddowns@nrpsk12.org, and you can also discuss how they can be used within your specific department at a department meeting, or how you could work on just upgrading one of your own specific courses with some of these resources. Getting started with OER resources in your classroom and district. So within this PowerPoint, I have presented a resource list and also resources for finding more OER resources than just what's on the list. Some of these resources will allow you to search according to curriculum standards, topic. I've included here CK12 and OER Commons as 2 sites that allow you to do that, and you'll see them on the list. Also, this will lead you into integrating OER into lessons. So as you find resources, you should begin to think about how they can be integrated with your existing curriculum. Another approach is that you could also think about how you can begin to work with these resources with your curriculum team to adopt additional resources for areas of gap or need. Also think about how you could gather buy-in from colleagues on the use of these resources by sharing them out or showing them how they're practical to your teaching. Aligning these tools and resources to your curriculum is essential to have them make sense for students and how you plan on using them in the classroom. So just to give a brief overview of the resources within this session, I'm going to click on the What is the Go Open movement all about? And this will bring you to a YouTube video that will discuss how the Williamsfield schools decided to go open. Please watch this video, and it will give you a little overview of how this district took advantage of OER resources as part of the Go Open. What are OER resources? If you click on this link, it's going to bring us to a Creative Commons Corporation page from wiki.creativecommons.org. It's going to give you an overview of the definition of OER from several different organizations, and it's also going to give you a brief definition about what is an open educational resource. I think you'll find that each one of these has a small difference, but essentially says some of the same things about what OER is. The third link, Why OER Matters, is a video. This video's focus is to talk about how Open educational resources matter in a global context to students and to teachers. And the final document, 7 Things to Know About OER, is an educause.edu document that provides an overview of what open educational resources are, how they work, who's integrating these resources, why is it significant, what are the downsides, where is it going, and what the implications for teaching and learning might be. This is a great document to help you get more familiar with how open educational resources are organized and some of the value they can bring to your classroom. Here, on the link underneath Getting Started with OER Resources in Your Classroom and District, we'll bring you to a continually revolving document that I've begun creating that will assist you in finding some OER resources to assist with your research for the main parts of the assessments in this class. So under Portals for Resources, I'm just going to highlight 2, OER Commons and CK12. These are both very K-12 orientated resources, so I think you'll find them very helpful in this professional development. But just so you know, there are also additional ones that can assist you in a range of topics from literature, science, across curriculum Merlot, Quirky.org, Open.Michigan, everything from high-level collegiate resources to ones that can particularly address the needs in K-12. I'm going to click on OER Commons. With OER Commons, it allows you to search for specific topic-based resources by subject area in your class, by education level, and also by standard. This is a great tool for beginning into researching and finding resources. Another link is CK12. CK12 has a variety of different types of resources related to all sorts of different types of topic areas, particularly some of the common core areas such as science and math. And they have a dashboard which allows you to sign up for the class, be able to organize your resources, and also save to Google Drive. So if I type in the basic science search term, it's going to prompt me. If I'm a student or a teacher, I could create an account, but it's also going to allow me to search by grade level, subject area, and what type of resource, a video, a flexbook, ebook, and also reading and type resources. So definitely something worth checking out and potentially utilizing for the assignment in this session. And that link is this blue link on the right side. On the next slide, we have the assessment area for different levels of objections. So for describing the meaning of open educational resources, I've included a resource from iNicole OER resource, and I'll go ahead and click on that so you can see what that looks like. And this takes you to a state policy document in K-12, which has the benefits, strategies, and recommendations for open access and open sharing. The iNicole organization is the International Association for K-12 Online Learning. It's a great organization for both personalized and learning information and also for open materials. And here you'd want to download this PDF to be able to review this. Under differentiating the concepts of open licensing, public domain, and all rights reserved copyrights, I've included this article from Smashing Magazine about understanding copyright. There's a great resource here to help you review copyright and licensing. What is fair use? What is a public domain? Legal jurisdiction, license terminology, Creative Commons, software licenses. where licenses are used. Does my work need a license? So under copyright and licensing, there's a whole section on what is fair use, what is public domain, and some of the license terminology. This is a great quick resource to be able to get more familiar with the subject. Under identifying resources that are openly licensed or in public domain, I've included the Edutopia OER resource guide. This is a web page which provides a kind of an introduction to OER resources and a resource roundup. It's a great article. It has information about getting started with OER, how to find additional OER, open lesson plans, courses, and activities, and open alternatives to textbooks and additional resources on the web. And there's also an additional video about why open education matters. A great article, hits a lot of different key subjects related to the topic of OER. To distinguish between the types of Creative Commons license, there's a great resource here from Creative Commons licensing types. Here, this will give you an overview of all the different types of licensing types, from attribution, share alike, non-commercial, non-derivatives, and how you can review these different types of licenses according to what types of work they support. And it tells you that you're free to share, adapt, and if you are to make changes, that you indicate how they were done. Find the open educational resource and properly attribute to their authors. So I included a link here to properly attribute a work. And here's a blog by Molly Kleinman. And it was a great discussion on the Creative Commons FAQ about attributing CC licensed work. And just some suggestions about attributing work. So on our slide here about task-based assignments for the OER Go Open Professional Development is a reflection and adaptation to practice assignment, which asks you to review all the materials in this presentation and utilizing 2 OER resources, you can use any of the ones from the list that I just provided, answer the following questions. Select 2 resources that you could apply to a current lesson you teach. What website or portal did you select these resources from? What was the licensing on these resources? What strengths do you think there are to using OER in your classroom? What are some of the weaknesses? How would the resources you selected add to the current content of the lesson? So you're going to need a computer with internet access. And in order to complete this assignment, I'd like you to go into the Google Classroom for the Go Open Intro and Open Ed resources that I've added you to, and answer the questions from the reflection task-based assignment in Google Classroom. And then just resubmit the assignment in Google Classroom. When you go to that assignment, you will receive a document that has the questions on the left side already added to the document. Thank you.